Good morning, everyone. I am glad to be here this morning with Director Tisha Edwards of the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success and Director Moore of Recreation and Parks. Before we begin, I think it is very prudent that we take a moment to acknowledge a tragic discovery that was made in the Beachfield neighborhood yesterday. As you know, the police department and I will hold a press event around this unfortunate, tragic situation at 1 p.m., but we'll just ask that everyone keeps that neighborhood and the families in their prayers. But for now, what I'll say is that if we do nothing else as a community, we must ensure that we protect our children. Investing in them and in their futures is not an option if we want to see a better Baltimore for the generations to come. My utmost priority is to protect and ensure that our youth have every single resource that they need to be successful in this world. That's why we are here today, and that we're excited to carry on the tradition of the Mayor's annual book bag giveaway event as we approach a new school year starting next Monday. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., my office will distribute 4,000 book bags stuffed with school supplies to Baltimore City families for our students. Supplies will be tailored to students by grade. Upon arrival, students must be accompanied by an adult who will receive a ticket for each child present. Receive a ticket for each child present, so that means your children must be with you. No, you can't tell us that your child isn't with you. They must be with you. No, you cannot tell us that your child is at home. They must be with you. We will distribute the book bags until supplies last. We know that the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success is our lead agency ensuring that children have what they need to be successful, and have played a major role in organizing this event for our residents and for our young people. And under my administration, their contribution and dedication are unmatched, and I'm proud of this partnership on behalf of our families. And I'm going to turn it over to Director Edwards to talk a little more about this partnership that's very unique this year. Director Edwards.
Thank you, Mayor Scott. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy new school year. This is one of my favorite times of the year because it is all about the promise and potential of our young people. And this year, it represents so much more because most of our students are returning to school in person for the first time in more than a year. The Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success has collaborated across city agencies and the community to support Baltimore's children and families during the pandemic. We remain steadfast in our commitment to work on behalf of Baltimore's children, and that commitment continues as we all prepare for school to start on Monday. Every organization and agency we partner with is taking steps to make sure the return of school is safe and smooth, and our students are positioned for success. I want to thank Heart of America for answering our call and helping us to source 4,000 backpacks and school supplies. They are also an instrumental partner in helping us to organize the packing event that is happening right now. Thank you, too, to the Mayor's Office of Neighborhoods and Baltimore City Public Schools for turning out nearly 36 volunteers to do the actual filling of the backpacks and supplies. Thanks to their hard work, on Thursday, there will be backpacks with grade-specific supplies for elementary, middle, and high school students. We are especially appreciative of our partnership with city schools. Throughout the summer, we have worked together to ensure families have access to critical school district information and other community-based resources needed to support our children's success. As always, Mayor Scott, thank you for your deep commitment to Baltimore's children and youth. I know that we are going to have a wonderful school year.
Thank you, Director Edwards. As you know, this year's event has a special twist to it as we join forces with my favorite festival in Baltimore, AFRAM. So, along with book bags, you can expect food, music, and a good time, and also a bike party at the same time that's happening. And I'll now turn it over to Director Moore to talk more about what we can expect in this unique partnership in this year's events. Director Moore?
Thank you, Mayor Scott. As you stated, this has been an innovative and creative year under your commitment and your leadership to bring back AFRAM. And as AFRAM last week had some challenges because of Mother Nature and the weather, we wanted to make sure that we conclude AFRAM in the right way. And this big event that's going to take place tomorrow at our Miller Branch Park, Bike to AFRAM Al Frisco, is where we're going to have live music, we're going to have food, as well as numerous family activities. Some of the performances that will be at tomorrow's event is, of course, DJ Mighty Mike will be there, Navasha Daya will be there, Maisha will be there, as well as other entertainment. Also, we encourage people, as the mayor stated, it's a biking event. So join your community bike group, bike over to Miller Branch, have a great time. For those people who will drive, we do have event parking that will be at Harbor Hospital parking lot, which is adjacent to the park, but we will have ADA parking on the Miller Branch site. Also, I want to thank Mayor Scott and his leadership, as well as Director Elwoods. As they stated earlier, the backpack giveaway, and how we can continue to encourage our kids as they transition back into the schoolhouse. And then finally, I also want to thank our Youth Resilience Institute for their partnership and their collaboration for the Cherry Hill Arts and Music Festival. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Director. Everyone who knows me, especially my staff, knows that my favorite thing to do is to talk to our young people. And every time I get the opportunity, I tell them that growing up in Baltimore City has prepared them for anything and everything that they will experience in life. But it is up to us to protect and provide for them until they blossom and head out into the world. As mayor, I will continue to work hard every day on their behalf and lay the groundwork for them to build on in the future. And with that, we'll take a few questions. And just as we come, I will answer all questions about the 1 o'clock at the 1 o'clock. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am?
I'll wait till 1 o'clock.
Yeah, thank you.
I have a question that's not about the 1 o'clock event. So, on July 1st, you talked about you created the office to oversee a lot of the rescue plan dollars, and 3 of the 10 members were named then. Do you have an update on when the other members will be named to oversee that?
Yeah, we will be we are in talks with folks continuously. We will be talking about the office and talking about ARPA dollars over the next month in a public way.
And what makes somebody qualified to serve on this office right now, in your mind?
Well, it depends on the job. All the job descriptions are out there. You can look at them. People who meet those requirements can apply. People who don't shouldn't.
And what are your priorities for some of these dollars? I know there's a lot of money coming in. Where would you like to see the money being spent in the city?
Well, we said it multiple times. I'll say it again. We know that, one, for recovery dollars, we have to make sure that we're helping Baltimore recover. That's the initial cause of the funds. But we're going to recover in an equitable way, right? We're going to make sure that it's helping our communities that have been the most impacted, our businesses that have been impacted, services that have been lost at the city level. But also, we want to see, and I want to see, the investment going into, again, helping Baltimoreans. We did an announcement last week or 2 weeks ago. Baltimoreans get back to work and be trained for work as we see folks coming out of COVID and out of this pandemic to be able to have people provide for their families, investments in opportunities for our young people. We're going to do that, and we're going to invest in the people and the places that have been left behind in Baltimore for too long.
And then the IG advisory hearing is having the second meeting this afternoon. Do you think that elected members should serve on this board?
I think that this board, and actually the Inspector General, she is the person who came to me when I first got sworn into office and said, your predecessors did not have this board meet that was put in by law with elected officials and folks on this board this way. And she said, you need to get this. I agree, and we're going to continue to work with this, and I execute the laws. The law says that these folks are on the board. We make sure that we follow those laws, and that's what we'll continue to do.
Should there be a charter amendment?
This was a charter amendment that.
To change it. Comptroller Bill Henry has said he wants to look at making it
Well,
a little different.
the comptroller can have those conversations with the city council, but I would just remind you that the inspector general testified in support of the existing charter amendment.
Thank you.
Dave?
This message is for Parks and Recs. Mr. Moore. In regards to the Catherine Street ABC Park, I was wondering if you could provide us with an update. We did run a story about the neglect, lack of bathrooms. A statement from the office said that you were working to get permits, so I was wondering if you could provide an update and if any outreach has been done to the neighborhood for liaison talks.
Thank you for that question. Yes, our office has continued to look into some of the concerns that your office has brought to us. I had an actual conversation on yesterday with Doran Hanna, who's one of the community members. Actually going to meet him tomorrow. Our office has continued to communicate with the community during this time, but there has not, I will say there has not been neglect. But this has been an ongoing construction project that is now complete, and we're going through the permitting process so that we can officially open this property.
You said it's officially complete, so what is the status of the bathrooms?
We're going through the permitting process now to make sure that we can safely open the bathrooms for the community. I mean, when you build a facility, you have to get a certificate of occupancy. So until we get that certificate of occupancy, we cannot allow people by law to be in those restroom facilities. So even though the construction is done, there's still a permitting process, and we're working with the Department of Housing and Community Development to get that permit so we can officially open the bathrooms to the community.
Do we have a rough timeline?
We're working closely with them, and as soon as we know, we'll definitely make that announcement to the community.
Thank you.
And Dave, just to add on to that, I think it's important for folks to be mindful that this park went uninvested in for decades, and now hundreds of thousands of dollars have been spent in this park in a community that desperately needs it, and we're going to continue to make sure that we follow the process and open things in due time with the due diligence and respects to laws, but also that we continue to figure out ways to partner with folks like Mr. Derwin, who just happens to be a friend of mine, and others in the community to make sure that that kind of investment stays.
And just the graffiti removal and the defecation issue, I know that the spokesperson said that there will be timely crews, or I guess, do you have what days they're expected to be there, Director Moore? Because after our
So
story.
Dave, I'll answer that question. So we know that we just restarted our graffiti removal process. There's a process for that to go in. Folks put that in. 311, we have crews go out. We're going to continue to make sure that Rec and Parks and all the other agencies are working together to work on those other issues. We actually, unbeknownst to anyone in the media, walked with Mr. Hanna and agency folks in that neighborhood. We went through the park, talked about how we can better coordinate all the agencies to make sure that he and the neighborhood are getting the services that they need. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.